All right. Welcome everybody. I thank you guys for coming on board, joining today. I want to talk to you today about um, some of the roadblocks that we have as individuals to success. I want you to start thinking about what are some of the things that you're capable of doing that you ain't doing. What are some of those things that you shouldn't be doing, but that takes most of your time. I'll read a story to you, and then we will have a quick discussion about this. You see, several years ago, a survey was done, and it was in Harvard University. There are stories told about this. But the truth is that if you put a frog in a vessel of water and you start heating that water up, you see, as the temperature of that water rises, what happens is the frog is able to adjust his body temperature accordingly. So when the water gets to 80 degrees, the frog can adjust the temperature of its body to 80 degrees. When it goes to 100 degrees, the frog can adjust his temperature, his body temperature to 100 degrees. So it doesn't get bothered. But you see, when that water is about to reach boiling point, the boiling point is where everything dies. I mean, when it's about to reach the boiling point, the frog at that time is not able to adjust anymore because he cannot adjust its body temperature above boiling point. So at that point, the frog decides that it's got to jump out of the water. But what happens is that frog tries to jump, but is unable to do so because it has lost all its strength in adjusting with the rising water temperature. Every time the water temperature adjusts, he adjusts himself to it. So just before that boiling water gets to the water gets to a boiling point, he have no energy to jump out. And guess what happens? The frog dies. So here's a question for every one of you. What killed the frog? What do you kill the frog? You know, when I ask this question, many of you will go back through this story and you will say, oh, well, the boiling water killed the frog. But the truth is, what killed the frog was its own inability to decide when it has to jump. When we cannot decide when enough is enough, we stay stuck, we start adjusting. So we all need to adjust with people and with situations, but we need to be sure when we need to adjust and when we need to just face the fact and jump. You know, there are times when we need to face the situation and just take the appropriate action. Because if we allow people to exploit us, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, they will always continue to do so. So the point is, at some point, you have to decide, when do you jump? When do you jump? When it's enough. When it's enough, but most of us, we don't. I want you to think about the situation, the political situation in Africa right now. In any country where you are. I can tell you about Nigeria because we just studied what is going on there, where some political party put the price for, what is it called? The application to run for president at 100 million. The president's salary is 14 million per year. The president's salary is $14 million per year. But you will pay $100 million, and the president got 4 terms. So that would be like 56 million. But when people pay 100 million to get a job that pays 56 million, can you please mute yourself, whoever that is, please? We record this thing, so please, when you come on board, let's mute ourselves. Thank you. So when you do that, you know there's something else going on. But what happened is they keep taking the temperature up, and we keep getting used to it. We keep adjusting to it until now they take it to a place where no newcomer can, who can afford to pay 25 million US dollars or 250,000 US dollars to apply for application for a job. Who can afford to do that? Except people who have amassed wealth somehow. So we look at the temperature of where we are, whether it's in your household, whether it's in your life, whether it's in your school, whether it's wherever you are, and you have to adjust accordingly, or you know when to jump up. There is a story told about Stalin. Stalin at one point was showing his cohorts, his lieutenants, how to oppress people. And so what he did was he took a live chicken, and he took that chicken and he started plucking the feathers off that live chicken. And he kept doing that, and he kept doing that until at some point he put the live chicken down without feathers on it. You see blood coming out of its paws. And he started walking away. And he go in his pocket and he took out some chicken feed and he threw it on the floor. And that chicken started pecking, and moving up, following him. He started pecking and following him, pecking the food and following him. So it was showing his sergeants, his lieutenants, that this is how you oppress people. You take everything away from them. You take their dignity. You take the money meant for them, you use it for yourself. And then when it's election time, you release 1,000 or 2,000 for them, and they get comfortable, and they still dance, and they still follow you. And this is one of the reasons where we are in Africa today. So what does that have to do with emancipating yourself? You see, as individuals, our beliefs drives our behavior. You act the way you believe that you are. I once told the story of the mother with the cooking pot. If you were at the event, you heard about that. If you weren't, there's a young mother that always cook a turkey, cut off the head and the tail. But the little daughter doesn't know why. So on Thanksgiving, the daughter asked, "Why do you do that?" She said, "I'm doing it because that's how my mother did it." They went to the mother. They said, "Mom, why do you do that?" Mom said, "Because my pot was too small." So sometimes we have some beliefs in ourselves that is not true. Sometimes you have certain things that you want to achieve in your life, but you believe that for a certain reason that you cannot achieve it. But that belief is not true. That belief is not true. It's you just telling yourself what you cannot attain or what you cannot go for. So what do you do to emancipate yourself? How do you emancipate yourself? You got to start thinking of those beliefs. Those beliefs. You see, a long time ago, there was a guy named Roger Bannister. You see, Roger Bannister, for a long time, there were artists, there were runners who tried to run the 4 minute mile and nobody could do it. Nobody can do the mile in less than 4 minutes. It just has never been done. Nobody could. The Roman people, they used to take their runners and they tie them to horses to help them to achieve that fame, and they couldn't do it. But you know what? The day when Roger Bannister, the first person to achieve that 100-minute mile, the day when Roger Bannister achieved it, guess what? Like 7 other people achieved it. Why? Because people know we are all the same. And once you can break the barrier in one way, once you can break a barrier, it's broken, and it's broken forever. So the moment Roger Bannister did it, anybody else can do it. What I'm saying to you is, the moment you can achieve something that you want to achieve, or if somebody else has done something that you are trying to do, then it's possible. It's possible. So if you are going to free yourself, if you are going to emancipate yourself, if you are going to bring yourself to a point where it's actually you and your beliefs are in line with what you want in life, then you will attain certain things that you've never attained before. You see, they say insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result. That's insanity. We are not insane. So if you want a different result in your life, other than what you got last year, you got to do something else. I had to do it. You know what? Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, he said, the things that matter most must never be at the mercy of the things that matters least. Let me say that again. The things that matters most in your life should never be at the mercy of the things that matters less. So that means you need to spend your time on what is going to change your results for you. Sometimes it's as much as just taking 5 minutes a day and sitting in a corner and thinking, and just seriously thinking. Sometimes it's actually about not only thinking, but achieving what you have thought about. Sometimes it's both. Sometimes it's whichever way it goes. And so I'm saying, for every one of us, we have to think about, what do we do to emancipate ourselves? What do you do to make sure that your thinking is really along the lines of what you've done? Every one of us has been successful in something, one thing or the other, previously in our life. Every single one of us. Every one of us has attained some level of success. So if you have achieved success in one area, how can you apply that to your new area of life? Because you know what? Success always leaves clues. You can write that down. Success leaves clues. So whether it's at work, whether it's at home, you got to ask yourself, what are you doing? What are you doing that is working? What are you doing that's working for you? Whatever it is that you have done that work for you, then do more of it. Do more of it, and then you get more success. The second question is, what are you doing that is not working? What is it that you are doing right now that you yourself know that this thing is not working for you in your life? If there is something that you are doing that's not working for you, then stop doing it. Stop it now. The third question I have for you is this: who do you know that's getting the results that you want? Whatever result you want in your life, it doesn't matter where it is. Whatever that result is that you want, There is somebody that's getting it. There is a Roger Bannister that has already attained that result. There is a Roger Bannister that has gone before you. And so, if there is a Roger Bannister, if somebody else before you has already done what you are trying to do, then do what they do. Do you see how easy that is? Do you see how easy the recipe for success is? Number one, think about what is it that you are doing right now that's working for you, then keep doing it. Number two, what is it that you are doing that's not working for you? Then stop doing it. And question number three is what you are trying to do. Who do you know that has done it successfully? Then do what they are doing. Do exactly what they are doing. You are going to get the exact same results that you get. Because let me tell you, every single time, I don't know if you've ever had the Parallel principle. The Parallel principle says that 20% of your effort will give you 80% of your results. So all you got to do is figure out what are those 20% that you need to put all your effort into. Focus all your time and your energy on that 20%. That's going to give you 80% of your results. Because I tell you, my friends, for every single one of us, the most precious gift that we have is time. And how you use it, it really matters. Somebody texted me last week on why they cannot be on a training class that they're supposed to be on. So this is somebody I coach, so I could ask a question. So I asked this person, I said, to send me their screen summary. This person spent 3 hours on TikTok, 1 hour on Facebook, 1 hour on Instagram, based on their history, but they don't have 1 hour to spend on changing their life. So I told the person, will you be surprised? Because remember what I said, your belief drives your behavior, and your behavior drives your results. So if you do the same thing that you've always done, guess what? You will get the same result that you've always gotten. If you do the same things that you've always done, if you repeat the same things you did last week, then you will get the same result that you always gotten. That's why it goes back to those 3 rules. Rule number 1, what are you doing right that's working for you? Do more of it. Number 2, what is it that you are doing that's not working for you? Stop doing it. And number 3, who is it that has done something that you want to do? Do exactly what they are doing. It's very easy, but if you do the same thing you do yesterday, today, you're going to get the same result that you got yesterday. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result. So you have to understand you cannot improve a result until you have a result. What does that mean? You cannot improve your result until you have a result. So what I'm saying to you guys is whatever it is that your heart really desires, jump, and you grow your wings on the way down. Because if you are waiting for everything to be perfect, it's never going to be perfect. You got to take action now. You don't want to wait until you have all the knowledge. Some people will say, oh, but I need to do some research. I got to have all the knowledge before I can start it. Let me tell you, you will get the knowledge, but you will lose the opportunity. When opportunity stares you in the face, you jump. We have done such a bad job with that in the past, even within Project 55. But you are going to start seeing changes. You are going to start seeing us improve. You're going to start seeing us do things different. And when that happens, we get to a totally new level. So I say to you, my friends, pay for the speed now. Don't try to find a cheaper way to do things. The things that's going to give you results is going to be what you put your mind to. Okay? So if you think about it, if our result comes from our belief that drives our behavior, then what do you do with the belief? How many times do we challenge the beliefs that are just handed over down to us? How many times do we challenge that? Because whatever is not working for you, it might be working against you. It might be working against you. We are in the second week of transformation. If you are part of our Project 55 and you are not in transformation, values transformation right now, you are losing out. You are losing out because something great is coming after that. Some of you have not heard this, but in Driven, they're throwing out a challenge from $100 to $10,000 in 10 weeks. Ms. J is going to do that. She's going to get people to open an account with $100 on May 23rd. And in 10 weeks, she's going to teach them how to turn that $100 to $10,000. That's access. That's access. This is how we're going to change. This is how we're going to change the world. Because we understand we can transform valleys. Then what? When poverty still abounds, when people still don't have a job, when people are graduating as they don't know what they are going to do next. But if we can create our own future, if you can write down what we want out of this life, and then we can go to achieve it. I'm going to tell you a personal story. I'm actually I'm writing this right now because it hits me very strong. But I'm going to give it to you first, and then I'm going to close this call. You see, in my life for a long time, if you know me, you will say I am very successful. That's what you will say. I mean, I raised my kids in a great neighborhood in Florida, gated community. We were fortunate. We had that American dream. The house, the dog, the picket fence, kids growing. I mean, life was good. That's what you will say. But you know what I realized a few years ago was that one of the reasons why I wasn't rich, like rich. When you are rich is when you have enough to help other people. And I realized one of the reasons I wasn't was because I was selfish. You see, I had enough for my family. My family was good. I mean, we take a vacation every time. We do whatever we have to do. But on April 7, 2017, I was in Ethiopia. I was in a museum. And I met a little boy who changed my entire life, who changed my perception of what being rich really is and why it's important for you to be rich. This boy is got to be the happiest person I've ever seen in my life. But when he came to me and he asked me if I want to take a picture with him. I said, yes, sir. Of course, I will. And I am glad I took that picture because I studied that picture every time. This boy was in a school uniform. His uniform was rags. His uniform, you can see holes all across it. But he was so happy. He was so friendly. I mean, he just exuded this energy that was so incredible. And I look at him and I said, this is the reason why I need to go above and beyond having enough for me and my family. So I can have enough, because if this boy is in rags and is so happy, what happens if he's got the opportunity that some people have? So one challenge I'm going to make to every one of you today, one challenge that I want to put out for you is that every single one of you, the world needs you rich. No matter what you do, no matter who you are, no matter how you operate, the world needs you rich. The world needs you rich. If you have an opportunity to pursue something that's going to allow you to go beyond having enough for yourself and you don't do it, you are being selfish. You are being selfish. When opportunities are given to you and you are doubting yourself, even though you know that if you take this opportunity, it's going to give you so much chance to do so much for so many people, you are being selfish if you don't take it. That is the awareness that I had a few years ago. That is why I decided if it takes the last breath of me, out of me, we are going to emancipate Africa. We are going to transform values, and we are going to introduce driving into every crook and corner across Africa, that people will have access to this vehicle, to this training, the last skill that you need to be able to make money. Because think about it, if money was not an issue, how many of you will leave Nigeria or you leave Kenya to say you are going to Dubai? How many of you will leave where you are right now if money was not an issue? You see, Africa needs you where you are. Africa needs me right where I am right now. So we're going to create opportunity. It's going to depend on you. I said to some people that I wasn't introducing driving because I was waiting for the rates to go down. And then last week, not last week, 2 days ago, Ms. Jennifer Mensah, the trader from Kenya, she come out with this $100 to $10,000 challenge. I couldn't hold myself back. I have people saying if I can get that skill, I'm going to do whatever it takes. So I'm saying to you, my friends, whether you are waiting on getting a scholarship, and some of you will at the end of our values training, or whether you are in a place where you should right now, I'm telling you that the world needs you rich, because there is so much we can do for so many people that's out there. But you got to emancipate yourself. You have to emancipate yourself. That's got to be a you thing. I can't do that for you. You got to go in your head and you got to think about what are some of the beliefs that's holding you back from achieving the greatness that you have in you. Because like Roger Bannister, when somebody has done what you want to do, that means it's achievable for you too. You just got to figure out what did they do to get to that level. What have they done to achieve that? I want you to think on these things and I want you to write it down. Before I open it up for a few questions, I want to say this. This week I received the recording for the entire workshop that we have at Mapoli for the launching. So some of you who are there, everybody who was there will be receiving a link by email, and then we will place it on our site too. But most of you will receive the link where you can watch everything from beginning to end. If you were there, if you were not. And beginning next week, you will start getting some daily feedback from me on what we are doing next, because we're in a planning stage now to get to the next level. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. We'll open it for questions, but I'm going to ask you to really think on what we talk about today. Emancipate yourself from the things that's not you and that's out of your way. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ade, for the awesome teaching today. I really enjoyed it myself. I even wrote down a couple of notes. So now we're going to open the floor for anyone who may have questions or maybe even have a response. Anyone have any questions or response?
Hello, Tabitha. I'm Kennedy.
Hello.
Yes, I'm Kennedy. Thank you very much, President, for this great presentation. I must appreciate first for the opportunity of getting this chance to be trained and to be nurtured to be the person that we want to be. My question is, several times we have had such training like the one we have today, and after that you feel like I'm very much rejuvenated. I want to start it. I want to just transform it immediately. With that same zeal, you get to a point you realize that now the energy has been diminished and you can never move on. I think this is something that has been a challenge in myself most of the times. How do you overcome such challenges? The second question is, you've talked about, Miss Jennifer, about the driven trading. May you expound on that a little bit? Thank you very much.
Hello, thank you very much. Good evening, Miss Tabitha.
Wow. That was a very good question. You know what? Remember when we talk about, can everybody hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Remember the last time we talked about when you are trying to achieve something, then you freeze. You really want to go for it. You want to do it. And then when you get to starting to do that thing that you say we want to do, then you freeze. You just freeze. You can't do nothing. Sometimes you don't know what next step to take. That's exactly what I just told you in this text, that you know what? It doesn't matter what you do. You cannot improve a result until you have a result. So you just have to take the first step. You just have to take the first step. It doesn't matter what it is. You want to write a book? Start writing one page. Give yourself time and say, okay, I'm going to spend 20 minutes a day writing. And then you write, and then you write. And then you can get it better. You can polish it. You can improve on it later on after you have written it. Because if you have not written anything, you don't have anything to improve on. So you have to jump. Don't wait until all the ducks are in a row. They are never going to be. Don't wait until you have the world is perfect. It's never going to be perfect. You have to jump. You have to jump. You have to jump. When you know what you want to do, all you need to know is the first step. You see, the Greeks have a tendency to ask you, okay, so what are you going to do now? And then what next? And then what next? And then what next? That's none of your business, knowing every step. If you are trying to know all the steps before you take one step, you are never going to be successful. But what you need to do is just know the next step. What is the very next thing I do? Okay, this is it, and then do that. And then in doing that, you learn whether you do well or you do bad. We did a launching of Mapoli, value transformation in Mapoli. It wasn't perfect. If you go back and you look at the screen that we were projecting on, it was wobbled. We learned from it. We learn from it. The next one is going to be better. And the next one is going to be better. And then the next one. But you know what? We got people engaged. We got people engaged who are doing. There are several people that are in a transformation values roundtable right now. And we are very happy about that. The second thing you asked me about was what I said about Jennifer. The fact is we've talked about driven, okay? I believe driven trading, I believe, is the avenue that God gave us to be able to sustain this values transformation that we're doing. I truly believe that. I believe when a 36-year-old young multimillionaire from United States said, I'm coming to help you guys. I'm coming to establish trading schools. I want to teach you how to trade so that money will never be your issue. So that you can have money to do anything else that you want to do. I thought that was huge. But for the enrollment, because of the price that is got on it, it's $1,000 one-time setup fee, and I think $150 to monthly, and the other one is $500 and I think $100 monthly. But because of those, I was working with the driven team to bring the fees down for Africa, because we already know most of the people we are working with who will not be able to afford that kind of one-time tuition. The monthly tuition, that won't be a problem. But so I told people that I will not introduce it yet until we have that reduced fee, and they are working on it to get it to us. But then last week, Jennifer threw out a challenge for some people that you open an account with $100, and she will lead you. She will hold your hand and teach you how to turn that $100 to $10,000 within 10 weeks. And she talked about she's done it several times before. She just know if you learn all the skills, but there are criteria. The criteria are like, 4 big courses, like maybe 25 hours that you have to spend doing these courses between now and the 23rd. It starts in 10 days. So there are a few people that joined, but I did not. You can't join it unless you are part of Driven, and you can't be part of Driven unless you have paid that upfront fee, or you have got a scholarship. Nobody is going to get a scholarship until after values training. The values training is where we expect by the time we come back in August, we will know how many people that will be able to get a scholarship. But until then, the ones who are in will just learn how to do what Jennifer does. I'm sure she will come back with it. I am sure she will. But that's how that is right now. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Kennedy, for that those great questions. I think is it Malam? Do you still have a question? Until that person. Oh, sure.
Okay. Good evening. Thank you very much for your submission, sir. I really appreciate that. So my question has been answered partially. While you are having your submission, you made mention about starting with $100 and gaining up to $10,000 in 10 weeks. So permit me to ask for people that are not joining, that are under our same table. So how are we going to go about this registration of the team? Thank you, sir.
Okay, this is the thing. You cannot be part of that until you have done the prerequisite. The prerequisite is a lot of training that is expected from everyone who joins. So like I said, I don't think it's going to be the end. Let's wait the next couple of weeks, and when they reduce the rate, or some of you get scholarship, then we will know where we are. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Aday, perhaps if you can explain what are the requirements, or have those requirements been established yet for the scholarship?
Oh, okay. Well, we are working on finalizing that. It's going to be people we pick up. You have to be part of values roundtables. You have to be part of that. That in itself is the biggest prerequisite. You have to be part of values roundtable right now. When values roundtable is finished, based on how it went and what was selected, we will select people who will have some scholarship. Their scholarship will get them into Driven Trading Academy. Okay, and they get to learn to trade, and maybe we can then go back and ask Jennifer or somebody who learned exactly what they've done. Will take them through taking $100 to $10,000 in 10 weeks. I just think that was a great incentive for people to really want to be on there. So for right now, I mean, you have to be part of Driven at minimum at the $1,000 level. So unless you have 1,100, 1,000 to sign on and $100 to set up your account, you cannot be part of it right now. But like I said, I know there are other opportunities that will come up, but let's just wait until we get a reduced rate. Some of my friends who said they didn't want to wait in Ethiopia and join yesterday, he said, you know what, it will just join at that level, and then when you get the reduced rate, maybe it will be 50%. So that means whatever is done, it will just get the next level of our education. But that's what it is right now. So prerequisites are not set. The main one is that you must be in values training. And then next week we will release for facilitators what are some of the incentives for the scholarship. Thank you very much.
Are there any more questions at this time? Feel free to raise your hand and I will acknowledge. Aday, we do have some new people on here today, so new participants. So perhaps you can do a quick, a brief description of what you mean when you say values table.
All right, thank you very much, Tabitha. First of all, everyone, let me say a very, very huge, humongous thanks to our project director for what she has done in terms of getting this values training going. Okay, values training is when you meet once a week for 1 hour. You get all your credentials on Change Your World, or you contact Tabitha and let her know where you are, and she will hook you up with a table. But you have to be part of a round table. You have to be going through this values training. And within the values training, we believe, because of the time it takes and the same people meeting the same time every week, it begins to change values within you, which eventually change values of people around you. So that's what that's about. You got to have the values things down pat to even get a scholarship from us into Driven. But if you are willing to sponsor yourself, or you have your own money, you don't have to wait on nobody, then you can just dive into Driven on your own and start getting the results that you want to get. My whole intention is to free everyone eventually, that you have a way to actually make the kind of a living that allows you to be the man or the woman that you want to be right where you are. Okay, when you have opportunity, Driven have a convention like 4 times a year. John Maxwell have like twice a year. When you get yourself to a position where you can say, you know what, I'm going to US for 2 weeks for a convention, and I'm coming back to do what I do and continue making my. When you get yourself to that level, that's when we know we are really growing. When you get yourself to the level that you don't leave Nigeria with a college degree and go to US and go do dishes because you think that is the only way. That's how we did it. You don't have to do it like that. You do not have to do it like that. So get into values training. Contact the project director. If you don't, if you need information, Tabitha put some very good information together, like a cheat sheet on exactly what you need to do to get into every level. Okay? Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. Apostle Aguda.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, my director. Of course, my president, I appreciate you so much for all God has helped us to accomplish in the launching in Nigeria, in Mapoli. It was the feedback I get from that have been very, very tremendously encouraging. And then, there's no regret at all. And I believe that despite the flaws and despite some of our shortcomings, people have given a very commendable report about it. So I'm encouraged. Be that as it may, now I want to, concerning the those of us that has consistently been in this training for since I think last year now. Okay, since we've been on this Saturday program, and then we have, some of us have hardly missed any of the session. Is there a way we can be rebated? And because I know most of the things that will probably be going on the round table, I don't know whether I'm correct, are some of the things that we have been talking about. So, is there a way that those people that has been on this program every Saturday for the past few months have an advantage to skip some of these things that the normal value roundtable has to go through? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Apostle Aguda. We designed Project 55 to actually ensure that we change values and then introduce people to a way to maintain their values by giving them an avenue that I believe, I keep saying it, Driven is a vehicle that God gave us. The relationship that I have personally with the CEO of that company or with all these other people that's going to help us is just something that God put there for us so that we can use. No, we will not want to take shortcut. Even me right now, I have gone through values training several times. I did transformation in Guatemala with John Maxwell himself. I did it in Paraguay. We did in Costa Rica. I will be involved when we do Rwanda. I am also in the values table, round table right now, because you know what? You have to lead by example. We have to show what I'm asking people to do, that I'm not too good to say, okay, yeah, because I already know hope. It doesn't matter every time I go through the lesson of hope, I get something new that I didn't have before. I learned something new that I don't. So I would not want to shortchange anybody or create a different rule to say, okay, there are some of us that already did it or we know it, so we will just go straight. When we come back in August and we say, okay, after these roundtables are finished and we're giving scholarship and we're getting people in a program, we actually, it's like literally giving people access to something that's going to change the entire life, the dynamics of the family you are in, the children that are concerned, the neighbors that you are going to buy from. I think that is huge. And so I think for something like that, we need to maintain exactly what how God have us set it up, and not go through a shortcut. I asked Alexa the other day. I said, Alexa, inspire me. And Alexa says, there is no elevator to success. You have to take the staircase. So we're going to take the staircase on this one, my apostle. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, my CEO. That's very taking. Examples, leaders who really have to lay an example. I'm so encouraged that you yourself, you going through those things to standardize because of some generation that are still coming after us. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate. I only want to make some suggestion, and that I know the director have done a lot to really make it easy for people to get to doing the round table, and I'm trying to share some of these instructions to some people here, to Pastor Badi and some few other people. And if there's a way to get access to this registry on the round table, could be made a little simpler, because I'm aware that so many of these people that we are dealing with have been out of school for a long time. Some of them, the computer they studied in the school was 4 and so this age of digital and all those things is giving some people a little challenge. But I know as we try to be in the scheme of things, people will get to overcome some of these little challenges. So I want to appreciate, or I want to demand that our director will still get it a little simpler, and so that people can really get into it. But then I want to really still appreciate her for all the information you have sent. They are very good ones, and that's just my take. Thank you very much.
Sure, I am more than happy to reevaluate the tip sheets that I have put out there to make it, more comprehensive. I know some of the things I left out were, things like how to create a Zoom account or how to create a Google account. And those are two things that you need if you want to hold virtual meetings. If you want to hold physical meetings, those things are not required. So I do understand and can sympathize for, those individuals that are, not of the tech age. So this is the age of the tech. So I will definitely reevaluate those tip sheets. And thank you so much for, bringing that to us. Also, I would like to say that Endurance is on the Zoom today. Hi, Endurance. Endurance is a part of, she is actually a facilitator currently at Mount Poly. And she's doing an excellent job communicating with her table and ensuring that they have the information that they need. So I want to put that out there and congratulate Endurance for joining on the line today. Also, Landry.
Hello, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You also have Landry and, of course, Jude. They are a part. I have my own personal round table, and they are a part of that table. Abubakar is also. Hi, Abubakar. Abubakar was having some network issues yesterday, and he just couldn't get on. But Larry and Jude were there, so they had their first experience. And being a part of the roundtables, you can be a part of the roundtable as a participant, or you can be a facilitator, meaning you're kind of leading or guiding your roundtable. So if you want more information about that, please reach out to me for those individuals that are on the Zoom today. and you want more information about the roundtables, reach out to me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. Apostle Aguda, please say happy birthday to your wife for me. I meant to call her today. It's been a very busy day for me. I actually have another meeting I have to jump in right now. So we will talk to you guys again next week. We'll have the topic for the training out early. I will work with Tabitha on that. But think on what we talked about today. Okay, let's emancipate yourself from our own our mental behavior, from our own the things that hold us back, so that we can move forward. Thank you very much, everyone.